did.
I
did.
Dang, girl.
I made sure you had some coffee.
Wow, I'm like towering over you. Hello, Americans. And other friends and subscribers around the world.
Back again, man.
Back again, man. That was good, Miss Kitty. Why'd I even repeat it?
I don't know.
I should have just let it ride.
Yeah.
So this morning, got some things going on today. And I thought, man, I need to get it'll be later today, so then it'd be late to get a video out, because we try to get a video out every day, man. So we thought we'd do another morning coffee chat at Miss Kitty's request.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't?
Maybe.
Okay, sweet. I thought I was lying to him for a minute. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today, Miss
Well, I guess
Kitty?
I thought we could talk about our more garden plans of what we're going to do. There's a lot of talk that this is going to be a year, a year without a summer. I don't know, really, honestly, what that means.
Well, if you look back of the
last
because there was,
one.
what was it, 18, man, I got the dates, I didn't even look back. But, man, Adapt 2030, man, if you don't watch him, I tell you to watch him all the time, man. If you go over there and watch him, Adapt 2030, if I remember, I'll put the link below. And sometimes, man, he goes into stuff, man, I'm like, wow, what's he talking about? But, man, David Dubine, man, he is spot on. I've watched him for years, and I've talked about it before, man. You know, I've watched stuff, and he was predicting like 2 years ahead or whatever, and I'm like, whatever, man, and holy crap.
Yeah.
Less than 2 years later. But he is calling and has been calling for, it's been a few years that he's talked about the year without a summer, and that, if you go back, I can't remember, well, it was when that other, was it the time, I've talked about it on this,
Yeah,
the eruption of the volcano, so I mean.
That was last July.
Yeah,
January.
Right.
Last
But
January.
back in 1800s, I think it was like 1884 or something. I don't know. That could be that show I watched too. 1883. Or maybe it was, anyway. But that year without a summer, and when I'm talking about a year without a summer, you know, I'm not talking about this 9 degrees crap like we got this morning.
No.
You know, continuous. Just, it's going to affect the, you know, the growth with everything else going on in this world.
And David goes into it a lot in depth, and he's very knowledgeable, so there's no way I could ever repeat what he says. But he talks about the rays of the sun and how it's going to affect the crops and
the solar storms. And, I mean, like I said, man, he goes, man, for these old hillbillies, man, we're like, whoa. But, man, the way he brings it to you is very, you know, very good. And then he's, I just love his sense of humor, man, because he's so serious looking and stuff, and he'll pop off with something, and, you know, and he'll kind of...
A little sarcastic.
It's funny. You're just like, that was a joke, man. So, our plan, you know, is that what we were going to talk about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that on the last one.
Not about cold crops. Did we talk about concentrating on cold crops?
I don't know. I thought we did. And doing the greenhouse and all that. We're just doing a repeat video, and we don't know what we're talking about.
Well,
we can talk about it.
We discussed this just before we turned the camera on, and you didn't say any of that.
Well, you just said
it just came to your mind?
Well, you just said we're going to talk about...
Cold crops. Concentrating on cold crops.
Oh, look at her, man. Look at her.
I wish you
could see them eyes. Okay, let's talk about cold crops. Man,
well, we were going to set up the greenhouse. We've designated a spot out there for
the most part,
to do a hoop style, and then we got our little pop-up greenhouse. And we were talking that we should, on the outside of the greenhouse, concentrate on the cold crops. Because if it's a year without summer, maybe we can do back-to-back cold crops all season.
And then, you know, we'll see. You know, like I said, man, his predictions... Man, when I say the year without a summer and the stuff that he's talking about, like I said, it's not like we're going to have snow. I mean, dude, I have been snowed on in July in Idaho before, but I mean, it's not like we're going to have this kind of cold or, you know, no summer whatsoever. as far as the temps, but the things that he's predicting, man, and I don't know, man, if you pay attention to the weather now, I don't know how yours is where you're at, but ours is insane.
Yeah, it's very strange. So put the cold crops on the outside of the greenhouses. Yeah. Bring them back. And do more of the tomatoes and that sort of thing, peppers, inside.
Year round.
So that we could pull them out and when there is a nice sunny day, and then put them back in if it's cold.
So then the other thing, as far as the greenhouse, the one thing I keep going back and forth, I mean, we got the area, because we're going to be gardening in a completely different area that we've never gardened in. You know, using our chicken fertilizer and using our rabbit fertilizer and all that. And then it's some dang good dirt. It grows it's out there, lots of Timothy grass there. The one thing that I've been going back and forth is, do I want to face my greenhouse north and south,
or east and west?
Or east and west. That's the one thing I keep going over in my. Mine's the one thing that I do, because we get so many gnarly ones, man. The winds and everything that come from the south.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
So I actually think, man, doing it
east west.
No, north to south for the ends, because the ends I actually plan on, you know, it'll be framing. Then I've had quite a few people on there talking about the plastic 4 mil, I think. You know, saying that, you know, it doesn't last but a few months or whatever. So
yeah,
that's all. I mean, we never built one of those. You know, this one's going to be out of we're going to use the hog panels.
Yeah.
We got quite a few of those, you know, and I'll probably raise them up because I want it. Obviously, I ain't going to go in there all hunched over.
No, well, you want to be able to get in there and get work done.
So, and that's, you know, once I get that, obviously, I'll be changing the plastic or doing whatever. Man, I used to have this, remember that plastic that I had?
Oh, absolutely.
It was skyscraper plastic. It's what, man, it came off a construction site down in Boise. Dude, that stuff, it was probably a 4 mil or even heavier. And it had square string. Man, it had this, dude, it was the toughest string.
Like a fiberglass string that ran in a grid.
Yep, and it was all square. Oh, dude, it was that stuff. We used it for years. And
the flea markets.
The flea markets, and it was great at the flea markets, man, because when you set up outside, you're always dealing with the rain and all that, and you could see through it, man. So it was great because you could do your tables, and people, you know, in the rain could still see what was in there, you know, and then you'd, you know, reach up underneath and get it.
And we had a big enough sheet of it that when you set up your canopies, you still have rain holes around the edges and stuff. We could drape that over the entire canopy and down to the ground.
And have a lot of it, man.
Yeah,
we had a partial roll of it.
We actually have a picture in Cascade. We were set up on a corner spot, and we had it draped from the from the motorhome over the canopies, and we had it like rolled up, and it was a rainy day.
I mean, that stuff, man. We cut it into strips. We cut it forever. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere around there there's a chunk of it. You know, not a huge chunk, but I'd like to. I don't even know where the heck you'd get anything like that. So
Home Depot, maybe?
I don't know. Reel it back in, Miss Kitty. Reel it back in.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about, cold crops, concentrating on cold crops. And carrots, I can dehydrate and put some of those up for winter. Peas, I can dehydrate. Beans.
Well, all the cold
all
crops,
that stuff I can dehydrate.
And then you can just keep it. Like I said, man, I think that, you know, if it's going to be the year without the summer, you too, man, you're going to be able to grow cold crops.
You should be able to.
Yeah, well,
that's my thought. I don't know.
You know, man, we're just trying to plan ahead, and that's what you need to be doing, man, is...
it's better than not doing anything.
Do you know for sure it's going to happen? No. You know, there's no... But the one thing I'll say, man, is everything he's talked about, he's been on, and the solar storms and that volcano that erupted, and just all that, dude. So much. Yeah, something like that, man. Something like that. What else? There was something else I was going to go... talk about your... That is amazing. Tell them about your fruit roll-ups you did yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
Or day before yesterday. I don't know how
Oh,
days
we
went
were out shopping. We went down below. Stopped at the fruit stand there in Weezer.
And you got to stop in there too, man. I love that old boy.
Right on the highway.
Yeah, he used to be, well, now his kids, he gave that one to the kids, but outside of Riggins, north of Riggins, Idaho, he's had a fruit stand out there forever, and now he just built a new
it's
one.
A white building with red trim.
Right on the main.
Right on the highway.
Right through as you go through Weezer.
And he had a box.
Yeah, it was an apple box.
Like this.
Big old apple box.
Like this. Box of apples for $10. And they were, not super crisp. But they were $10.
I think they were just like Red Delicious or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Jonathan's, maybe, I don't know. But they were, aged. They weren't fresh, obviously. Snatched that up real fast. Brought them home, washed them up, peeled them up, turned them into applesauce, and made leather.
Did you keep some applesauce too?
No.
Oh, you just turned
Well,
all in.
there was, I ran the dehydrator, was it 3 times? Twice. I think it was just twice. Might have been 3 times. I got 10 trays, and I got like a
I think we've shown
13 by 12 trays. 10 trays. I can do 6 on each tray, 6 strips fruit leather. But he loved them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so
I got,
good. That's what I wanted to do. Is the count that she got out of this $10
Right.
box of apples.
Apples. Well, the last batch was, how many did I say? 100 strips
This time
that I put up, and then we have, dehydrated them.
You got one handy?
Well, the jar is over there.
Yeah, you want me to grill?
So I keep some out for us to eat daily. So we get our apple a day. And then
yeah, well, I think it's 2 of them.
the ones that I put up, I stacked them. Yeah, I use those. These jars, I use them all the time. I love them.
Apple, and we love Adam's peanut butter. So let me get the jars
Yeah,
too.
you see how hard that was for him to open?
That's got the rubber seal in it.
Yeah, well,
Oops,
these
can't
ones
see it.
I've actually already peeled off the paper. Because what I did is, when I pull them out of the dehydrator, I test them. And one of the ways I test them is to peel them off the paper. So those are the ones that I keep out. Okay, that's for you for later. I was going to show it.
Oh,
The
sorry.
size.
Jeez, man.
About a quarter
I
cup
would just
of the
want
sauce.
to eat it.
Quarter cup of the sauce makes about that much, and I figure 2 of these strips would give you a large apple, the equivalent of a large apple.
Yep. So and
A
then
large, one of the big.
and this has
store-bought.
got. Look at the.
Yeah, the chunks. I don't put it through the puree. I like the fruit chunks in there.
So amazing.
And that one I actually had a can of peaches that I added to it, and that was in pear juice. So I left the pear juice in there, and I had a banana. Put some banana in there. Anytime you make fruit leather, it's nice to add multiple fruits because it gives it a nice flavor and texture. So
Next time you do it, you should have done it this time, is you have to do one for the, what are called, our other channel.
Oh, Patreon.
Oh, Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Should have put it on Patreon.
So
or
I got
on here or something.
Well, I had a bunch of fruit leather put up from the summer fall season. But this was a nice addition to start off the summer with. To have
And you ain't
have
got
more.
none of the sealed up ones in here, do you?
Well, I do. They're just over there,
Oh, yeah.
put away.
But those, and how many are in the, she did the seal mill or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the heck it's called.
How many what?
How many are in a,
Let me just go get a bin. And I can just... Are you
Okay.
eating fruit leather?
I was waiting for you.
Okay, so I just went and grabbed this from the back. So this is a bin that got a stack of these.
Man, they're amazing. Buy 'em art when they have them on sale. I think we got these for
$4 or $5.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that was the sale price. I think they're normally $6.
Amazing little things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
not
Look at all that,
exactly-
man.
They're not exactly waterproof because these little slots right here allow water to get in. So they're not waterproof, but they are nice, safe places indoors to store. So in here I just got Sillamil stuff. So these ones here I put in October. Those are fruit roll-ups. So let's count them. And let's see, that one I didn't put a count on. Yes, I did. So what I did is I put them in
Oh, sorry.
14 per bag, so that's a 2-week supply of one a day. So I'm just going to count them here. Do you want to count them with me?
Whoa, man.
So you can help me?
Hey, Rexy, sorry.
There's 1,
Oh, Jesus.
2.
What are we doing?
Those ones
are these all from that thing of apples?
No, those ones were from October.
Okay, what are we counting for? What are we doing?
I don't know. You asked me to go get them. So
well, I was just showing them, man. And how many do you think's in the package?
There's 14. I already said that.
Okay.
So it's a 2-week supply for 2 people, one a day. This one was this week. Oh no, that's October also. You got some fruit leather too.
Some of these you did different. Some of these are rolled. Did you ever say that too?
Yeah. Some are rolled and some are flat.
I prefer the flat.
Several I did in the fall were rolled, but I like
and
the
if
flat
you
better.
don't have one of them, I call them Silla Mills. That's something
Vacuum sealer.
Vacuum sealer.
Silla Mill is just a brand.
And you've got to have one of those, man. They're amazing.
So this is how no, not really. So this is how we store our food for the way we live.
Oh, that's bear. Are you going to talk about that?
No, I'm talking about how we store food and put it
Whoa,
up.
you see that? Look.
We don't have enough space to store canned goods year-round because they will freeze. They will freeze. This box here is ice cold and it was indoors. I just had it in the back corner where not a lot of heat gets. So we don't do canned goods because they freeze. So we dehydrate. And if you can see the size of this box and how much food I got into here, it's amazing. This was some bear tooth mushroom that we collected and I dehydrated.
Give me a car.
This is some morels.
It's almost time.
The morels honestly don't vacuum seal very well because when you dehydrate them, they get really hard and sharp. So what I actually started doing, this one held, so I just left it in here, is I started putting them in my Adams peanut butter jars and putting in an oxygen absorber in there and closing it up, and that works.
You've actually been putting them in Adams peanut butter jars for years.
Yes, I just didn't have the
seal.
the
moisture
oxygen absorbers. More apple.
You go back on our videos, we used to actually dehydrate the morels by stringing them.
Yeah, stringing them. That works great. I mean, you don't have to have a dehydrator.
What are we doing here, man?
Well, you just wanted to, I was just showing how much I can get in one of these bins.
She's serious.
And I have a stack of bins back there that have multiple different kinds of stuff. There's more fruit leathers. There are 3 packs. I put up some loose tea that I had in here. That's some reishi mushroom. I have some cashews, a couple bags of cashews, and more fruit leather. So that's how we put our food up for storage, long-term storage, seasonal storage.
Then we do have canned, obviously have canned.
Yes, we do.
Too.
We absolutely, but those are kept closer to the heat source so they don't freeze. You can put those back in now.
Thanks, Mom.
You just, I'll organize them later.
But we always have people asking all the time, do you can, in
Can.
jars and all that? And what she was saying is,
Yeah.
we just ain't, man, we live pretty close to the elements, pretty close to the earth. We heat
Yeah.
100% with wood, all our buildings, the cabin, the trading post, and the cook shack is all, where there's wood stoves sitting right behind us. And, man, we kind of came in here this morning, we actually had some eggs sitting on the table to go into the incubator, and those eggs, man, they can't get below 54 degrees, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, because you actually have a few days, as long as you keep them, above a temp to put them in an incubator. And the fire burned out, and I don't know, did you even look at the temp in here this morning?
Yeah, it was about 48.
Yeah, so 48 degrees. So, and then, we got one of those things that
The thermometer
surface
temperature.
things, man. And when she did the eggs, and that was after I'd got the fire going, and it was 52 degrees, so it was already 2 degrees lower. And I guarantee, when we first came in here at 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning, that it was It's cold this morning. What are you looking at, man?
I'm just letting you finish.
Just admiring me?
Yeah, but we had, this is like, years ago.
Come on.
6 years ago or so. I stopped talking about putting food up because I was getting a lot of, you can't be a homesteader if you don't can.
Dude, can't fake stupid.
No, and so, all the hoorah that's been going on.
You can't
lately.
be a homesteader if you don't have a kitchen counter.
I know. All the hoorah that's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it just...
People always throwing in their opinions of what you can and can't do.
Yeah, don't let any of that. If you're trying to, if you're thinking about it, trying to start, just do your thing.
If you say, I can't do it because I don't know how to can, well, you don't need to know how to can.
And for the, and I've talked about it before, man. You don't even have to call yourself a damn homesteader, man. You're just a human.
Prepared.
Self-prepared. Prepared. Taking care of your dang self. Preparedness. That the whole off-grid and homesteading.
Preppers.
I've talked about it for
all of them.
Quite a bit, man. Too much. We're not part of a group, man. We're just who we are. We got our tribe, and we take care of ourselves, and that's what it boils down to. And I mean, you can use.
Yeah.
I'm annoying her today. Can you tell? But you can use this table right there as your kitchen counter.
Oh, I could.
I mean, it's whatever.
Right. I can use my lap.
Then I can cook right on my, on my wood stove, man. I can put a damn TV tray there, and it's a kitchen. I just follow my people are humans and stuff, but dude, I can't help it, man.
I know. He holds his arm like he can.
All right, what else? So that's our, little take, man. More than anything, just wanted to get on here because we try to show what we're doing today.
We had a beautiful sunshiny day yesterday. I had doors and windows open and I was getting itchy to do the spring cleaning thing, but boy, it only took about
3 o'clock, man.
It got cold real fast. Yeah,
I kept on. Are you sure you want this door open? She had the door to the cook shack open, and it was nice, man. And just letting the fresh air.
Yeah, that was the thing. The fresh air was coming in, and the dogs were going in and out, in and out. I loved it. It was good.
Pulled out, went over, got the vacuum. Vacuumed the carpets and all that.
Knocked down some cobwebs.
Man, I was out. What was that? Oh, I was out, man, burning and cutting down some
cottonwood.
Yeah, I got a lot more I got to do, but getting firewood. And it was, if you look at yesterday's video, man, it was just nice. But later, you can see, man, I'm out there, in my t-shirt. And, well, I got long johns underneath, but I'm out there in that. But by the end of that video, I got my flannel back on, man.
Well,
3 o'clock.
Peak of the day, what was it, about 42, 44?
Yeah. I think it was 42. I don't think
44. Yeah, but with the sun hitting your skin, you could just feel it. It was just
I mean, our thermometers, in the shade or whatever, was like 41, 42. But I'll tell you what, man, you put that thing out there in the direct sun, and...
Had to be at least 50.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like nice. Springtime. It's supposed to be like that again today, and actually, there's a couple of chances of snow in the next 10 days.
A couple of clouds drifting by, but nothing
But
major.
for the most part, it's supposed to be, 40 or low 40s all week, but then it drops down to like 15, 16 at overnight lows, because them overnight lows are chilling that, which means 3 or 4 o'clock, man. It's
yeah, time to put the sweater back on.
Exactly. And then today, we're going to go out, man. I got some Ponderosa pine out at Katie and Tim's. He's going to get up on here.
He's just sitting there staring. Come on, buddy. Okay.
What if you do this? Come on. He's like, wee. What you think, Rex? Yes, you can get up here. Come on. Come on, crazy. Sparky, come on. Crazy dog.
2 little rat dogs.
These are my mom's dogs, if you haven't seen Sparky and Rex. But, anyway, so we're going to go out there, and I got some lengths out there, and they're pretty good sized logs.
You want to?
Come on, man. Come on. Oh, come on. Going to go out there and get some wood, man. We're burning through it, like I said, man, like crazy. But I want to get some of that Pondo, just like this, burning out overnight, you know, it's some of the softer, not such good wood. So I just got to keep the wood coming in. That's it's pretty much my life right now, is just to prepare for the wood, man. I've been burned through a lot of wood this year, and it ain't over yet. What else you got, Miss Kitty?
I think that's about it.
That's it.
My coffee cup's empty.
Yeah, mine too. We didn't even make another pot.
No, we didn't.
So I have to go out and get to work.
The sun's hitting out there.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is, man. Really, yeah, it's about now, man. That was about time to get out there and do something, get to work. But we just want, man, every day we try to let you know what we're up to, man. This is what we're up to this morning. And you had a lot of people saying they wanted coffee chat videos, and so
there it is.
So there it is. And then I'll hopefully get some footage this morning for tomorrow's video, or this afternoon for tomorrow's video, and we'll just keep on keeping on, because it's all you really can do. Remember to start preparedness, man, and stocking up, man, for the year without a summer, or even if it's just a same old, man. You've got to have the stuff stocked up to take care of yourself, and number one is water. And then get into the foods. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Helps keep the lights on, the home fires burning.
Number of band-aids full.
Check out the eBay store and the Patreon. And man, go over to Mountain Junkers. I haven't done a video over there for a couple days, but I'm going to try to get something on there today, too. And good Lord willing. And them creeks don't rise.
We'll be back again tomorrow.
See ya. Oh, Rex.